Missouri is having a big powwow today, and it looks like Eli Drinkwitz will get another contract to extend him. I know there are a lot of schools that are looking for coaches, and apparently Eli's on somebody's radar to the point where Missouri thinks enough of him that they want to make sure he sticks around for a while.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think for Missouri, its rationale is, Drink has accomplished some really nice things as the head coach. Had a chance here in the 2025 season to eclipse 10 wins. That didn't happen. But, if not for a little bit of bad luck and some other things that went the wrong way, this team could have been, right on the verge of winning 10, either straight through the regular season or with a bowl win. That said, I think just the issue was creating stability for your program. Knowing what Missouri went through the last time it hired a new coach, and that was Drinkwitz, these things aren't easy. There's an art to hiring a football coach. It's not a science. And so there's a lot that goes into it. But I think there's momentum there. I think that the players that are in the program, speak very highly of the culture that he's building. And it's not perfect, of course not. But there are things that areas that I think that were exposed in 2025, areas that he knows that he needs to improve as a head coach. Will he tinker with his coaching staff? That remains to be seen. But I still think that Drink has done a fantastic job at Missouri. And I think the leadership at the university wanted to ensure that he's going to be here for the future, primarily for, I'd say, recruiting, but also, again, he's created something, and the trajectory is moving in a positive direction. There's no scandals involved with the program. Guys graduate from his football program. So there are a lot of positives, far more positives than any negatives here. And, I think those things account for something good. The model is look at a program like Indiana. Where Indiana was as a football program not too long ago, and you hired the right guy in Kirk Cignetti, and he's turned that program around, and they're vying for a college football championship. Will be for the second straight year. So I think Missouri would love to be in the same situation. They feel that they're capable of doing so with Eli Drinkwitz at the helm.
And in fairness, he has energized the program, really kind of energized the athletic department. I mean, there's a lot of good things that are happening on the campus. And I think when he arrived, his youth and his energy certainly was contagious. So he's done a lot of things to enhance the rest of the athletic department also. My question would be, as we see when the coaches get fired, they got to pay him $20 million, they got to pay him $30 million. What's the buyout going to be for a guy like him if 2 years from now you say this doesn't work? And I'm sure they've had a chance to think about it. Normally it used to be you would get your base salary plus a year, and then all the other things would go away, like the merchandise and the TV show and the radio show and all the other ancillary items that combine to create that lofty salary that you have. But I'm anxious to see what that buyout looks like on paper, where it may sound like a lot of money, but maybe in term it really isn't as much as you might think. And if there's nothing else, you have enough experience in seeing other schools scratching their head, figuring out how do we get to this point. So that'll be something I hope someone asks the question or has a chance to look at. It should be on public display, considering University of Missouri is a public university, on what that looks like.
Yeah, totally agree. And listen, if they're smart, then you sort of work a deal where maybe the longer he coaches, that buyout figure continues to decrease over the years.
Yeah.
It could be tied to wins and losses also. So, if if he's winning and competing and maybe playing for an SEC championship or gets into the college football playoff, maybe that buyout figure continues to rise. But if
Yeah.
it doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It may be structured that way. We won't know until we get a chance to see what the deal looks like.
Yeah, and the other incentives as you just touched on, winning the league, win the championship game, getting in the tournament, winning the national championship. Maybe it's also based upon graduation rate. I mean, there's a lot of incentives that could be plugged in to give you that lofty number that we're going to eventually hear about.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, I think the telltale sign is, fans are filling the seats.
Yeah.
3 straight seasons selling out all their home games. And listen, Missouri had 8 home games this season and sold all of them out. And even when things started to turn downwards, a lot of people thought that the Mississippi State game, which was the last home game, there wouldn't be a big crowd. Stadium was full. So I think people are believing in what they see. Again, that there's only going to be 12 teams that make a playoff, and it's better to be sort of on the cusp of making it than way back in the pack with really no chance or even nothing foreseeable in the future of your team making it. That's not Missouri. That's not Missouri right now under Eli Drinkwitz.